Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome back to another Upland video. Look at this. Not only am I back on the normal side of the screen, but we fixed my face up, leaving a bit of fluff on the top, but we fixed my face up. In today's video, I'm going to be laying down some constructive criticism and questions I have for Upland, which have gone unanswered despite my efforts to try and get answers for said questions. Before I get into the video, I want to preference this, and this is important to note. For one, I love Upland, and I want it to be the best game on the DApp market, and the best crypto game, I guess you could say, out there on the planet forever, until the end of time, right? I want this game to be the best thing it can possibly be by any way means possible, or wherever I can help out, I will help out. Because I want this game to be the best game for everybody. Second, I realize, and I think everyone should realize this more, that the development team behind Upland, they're only human. After all, and humans make mistakes, and such as the communication for the timing for when Oakland was going to be released. If memory serves correctly, they only let us know an exact time in the official Discord only a half an hour before or prior. Before like a huge event like this was going to happen, and I believe they gave a specific time on a podcast rather through their official channels, which was very weird, and it rubbed a lot of players, including me, the wrong way. And I think that's okay. And number three, when you give criticism, especially constructive criticism, don't be a dick about it. Okay, don't rub it in anyone's face. The most important thing about giving criticism and constructive criticism, in my experience, is it's okay to be emotionally frustrated by things, but try and take the emotion out of it and think of it from an objective point of view, and make it clear what you want out of it without, shitting on people. I guess you could say. Put as much information as you can, as tightly as you can, and this is coming from me, a guy that rambles and bambles about everything. It's all about sending information as efficiently as possible. Make it clear, precise, and just don't be a dick about it. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, a big one ahead of us today, and I'm kind of heated about this. So let's start off with number one, which is the pieces of criticism and the questions I have yet to get answers for. Okay, Oakland. Why can't, and if anybody knows this, please feel free to post it down in the comments down below. And I want 100% pure answers, like this to be factual. So I've asked this question, and people have said, it might be because of this, but I don't want any of that. I want 100% clarity, so then I can answer people that ask me this very same question, which is, why can new players not spawn in Oakland yet? And I've had to say, I don't know, and I don't think there's any good reason for it. And let me explain why I don't think there's a good reason for it. Because why are players worth millions upon millions of UPX, which is not a bad thing? People are going to have a lot of UPX everywhere, no matter where you go. But why are people like me and other people that have lots of UPX able to mint quite literally everything in the new city, and yet new players can't spawn in to grab non-FSA properties? I don't understand why we would gatekeep this city away from new players wanting to come into Upland. And it's in my opinion that this city is going to be better for new players economically, instead of shifting them all in Brooklyn and making them spawn in only Manhattan, which is crazy. It would probably be better to have Brooklyn as the only place to spawn in Upland, because if a new player spawns in Manhattan, and the lowest property that you can buy there, let me check that really quickly for you guys. The lowest property you can buy, which is on both categories, is 53,000 UPX. So someone has to throw $50 down on the game, which I've put more than $50 in the game, as you can probably tell, way more on the game. And I think it's worth it to me. But expecting that of a new player straight away, where Upland is kind of confusing, and I help with my guides as much as I possibly can. Every comment I answer, no matter how ridiculous the questions is, and if you've been through my comments, there are some pretty ridiculous questions. It doesn't make sense, and I don't think that's a good user experience by putting new players that don't know what the hell's going on. They might just think, oh, Manhattan, I know that better than Brooklyn, so I'll just spawn in Manhattan, and then they have to take a train, hurting themselves, and ascend. It might only cost them like 100 UPX or something, but that could be the difference between getting one extra property under their belt, just depending on what they mint, whether it's cheap properties or properties they like or whatever, right? The point being is that it's not a very good or friendly user experience by putting up a massive paywall in front of their eyes and punishing them for not knowing which is a better economic area. Does that make sense? I think that's a valid point. Feel free to have a conversation with me in the comments down below. As I said, I answer all my comments, and I'd love to talk about this. Being able to spawn in Manhattan is a no-go, okay? It is a no-go, because that's ridiculous. I think it would make more sense if someone was to put $100 in the game, they would figure out how to take the train there after purchasing and growing the economy in Brooklyn, instead of just being put in Manhattan and then getting frustrated or whatever. Right? Does that make sense? Because there's more collection opportunity in Brooklyn and all that type of stuff. We can go over the economics and the value and stuff like that later, or maybe in another video. Okay. So that basically summed up why I think Manhattan shouldn't even be on there. And forcing every player to basically go into Brooklyn, every new player coming in, and Upland is growing faster and faster every day, day by day. It's going to shorten the life of Brooklyn even more. And I think splitting the new players and giving them two cities to enter will be better, because they'll both live longer economically and secondary marketly, if that makes sense. Because Brooklyn won't be bought up as quick. It will still be bought up, but players are going to get more exposure to a better secondary market, which may have a lower floor than Brooklyn. I'm not too sure. If you guys want to fact check me on this, I'll do it right now. So if we go to Oakland, all properties, and we're going for sale UPX, we're going to sort from the lowest. I'm pretty sure Brooklyn was 4K. Let's say for sale UPX, it's 7K. So actually it's not as good coming into the secondary market if you're a non-FSA player, which you can't buy anything anyway. But if you can buy FSA properties, okay, if you buy only FSA unlocked Oakland, and we sort by the cheapest mint price, you're going to be making almost 6K on a property. Look at that. Oh wait, what? Almost 6K on a property. Like, hello. That's better for new players. Get them in. You know? Get them in. So yeah, that's why I think just putting people in Brooklyn, as opposed to giving them the option to spawn in Oakland, is not a very good idea. If I've been clear about that, I apologize if I'm not as clear as I want to be, because I feel like I think too fast for my mouth to catch up, if that makes sense. Let me know if you have that problem too. Secondly, a big problem for me, and like I haven't got an answer to this. Like, why can't players spawn in Oakland? Like, I haven't had an answer from anybody. UCN members, other broadcasters. A dev hasn't answered my question. I haven't asked like devs directly. I thought this might have been a generally known thing, but there has been no concrete answer to why players or new players can't spawn in Oakland. It makes no sense to me. I cannot. Having people say what they think, it still is a weak argument for not allowing new players to spawn in. Like, I just don't get it. Even having players spawn in San Francisco, although I would agree that that's a really bad idea, because like I want to make a new guide on Oakland, like my beginner's guide that has done really well and is widely received. by the Upland community, and I'd argue it has helped so far thousands of new players entering Upland, and I want to continue to produce and keep my beginners guides up to date, so I can keep the noobs, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, the new players coming in. I can give them the best user experience by offering the most knowledge as I can in a 10 to 20 minute video, like kind of time frame, and that would just boost the longevity of Upland as it is. I mean, go look at the video I have on YouTube, my beginner's guide getting started in Upland. It has, I think, over 4,000 views at the moment, and it's been overwhelmingly positively received by people. The comments alone, and I reply to everything, but and I want to keep my guides up to date, because there's nothing worse than a popular video like from a month or 2 months ago recommending for new players to do stuff, and then that gets out of date, or it isn't as economically or good for the new players coming in. Then it's going to hurt the game as a whole, I think, and it's going to hurt me as a creator and my integrity, because I'm not really able to provide a I can't make a video saying, hey guys, when Oakland or when Upland lets you spawn here, spawn in Oakland, because I don't know when that's going to be. I don't even, well, I would go so far to say I don't even know when you will be able to spawn in Oakland, but you probably will be able to spawn in Oakland at some point. But I just don't know. Do you know what I mean? And it's mine, because if my guide doesn't provide what I say in the guide, and I'm kind of stuck, I don't want to be that guy that's recommending things to do for new players that I wouldn't do myself, right? And I just don't know. Again, UCN members that I've asked and they haven't replied to me, or they don't know themselves, or the broadcasters. I'm not putting anyone under the bus. I'm just saying that no one knows, right? No one knows. And I'd love an answer to this. What do you guys think? Do you think it's weird that that experienced players like myself and people with vast amounts of UPX can travel to Oakland, literally minting everything right now? If we go only no FSA unlocked, there's nothing to be gotten, right? Like, I don't understand why people can't spawn here, especially after the first wave. Surely the servers are stable enough to allow new players coming in, and then maybe when the second wave of stuff gets released, because you're going to have an overwhelming amount of people here anyway, then accommodate for that and give the players the best entry into Upland, right? I don't know. I'd love some answers to this. And again, I love Upland. Okay, I think the team, I've heard from their mouth. I had if you watch my last video on my criticism about the Oakland reveal itself, they want the best for this game. They're doing everything they can. And with the timing, with the new auction, I know that's incredibly frustrating for a lot of people, and people have DM'd me saying like, "Yo, what the hell's going on here? What are your thoughts?" And I'm like, it's already pre-planned, and they didn't really with their current plans, without spoiling anything. That they couldn't do much about it. To be fair, it is a bad decision, but it's a bad decision they can't undo without lots of stuff fucking up for them. Okay. Yeah, and I just wanted to get this off my chest. I want these answered. I want these questions answered, and I think it'll be better for the community. Then I could make a new beginner's guide for the new generation coming into Upland. So yeah, tell me your thoughts. Have a conversation with me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Hopefully this hasn't been too rambly, and I've gotten my points across. And yeah, tell me what you think. I love your face. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification, and I'll have some very cool videos coming up soon. I love your faces, guys, and thank you for listening.